My friends, welcome back to Zach Animate Studios. We are continuing with our web series, creating application with Laravel, object-oriented programming. So guys, you are very welcome to our YouTube channel and feel free, be part of our community. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that like button. So without further ado, let's go back to where we were. So we were having our Visual Studio Code, we have our server running, Apache is running, and then MySQL is also running, and we have our project introduction app. Okay, so we had talked earlier about MVC, Modal, Views, Controllers, Routes, Databases. Okay, and then inside the database we have the seeders, and then we have the migration. Okay, in controllers, these controllers are that are written to redirect. Let's say you have a controller called index. Controller index is used for controlling the index page of any controller. You can have as many controllers as home page, about. Okay, you can have many controllers, either home controller, user controller, post controller. As you can see, let's go and see how we can create that post controller. So you go to your terminal. Okay, but basically you have to also to remember we have the main folder app, and then where it is located is inside the HTTP controller and then controller app, and then we have the controllers, we have the models, we have user model. Also, I'm going to talk about the user model in a few, and then we have I talked about migrations. We have user migrations. As you can remember, user migrations are used to create tables. You create inside a database you have tables, and inside the tables you have the fields of, let's say you have a table called users, and inside the users you have first name, last name, email address, password, confirm password, all that. Okay, that is what is here on this in this schema. Okay, so migrations have schemas. The schemas are responsible for the design of a table inside a database, and then seeders are used to insert information inside a database using when you've done, after you've done the migrations, you can still see that, and also I will also help you see that in action. And then we have the routes. These are we have the API routes. We have routes for API, and also we have routes for pages. So basically you are redirecting your application to specific need of an application. Let's say you have a post controller. Is going to have the home, about us, contact us, and all those services. So at the same time you're going to have all those functions at the so we are going to have the about us page, we have the service page, we have okay, let's say you have all those pages, and then you need to make them look so well. So in the next we are going to look at the web, that is responsible, that is the root. We have the web API. At the same time we have the web for the pages, and then we have the API routes for API consumption. Basically you want to create your APIs, and then it is going to have an API route. So without further ado, let's create our first controller. So basically Laravel has a structure, PHP artisan. So you can just write PHP artisan. if you just type that PHP artisan, you are going to see all the functions of PHP artisan, all the PHP functions that you have inside a Laravel. Okay, so for helping to work with Laravel, so you can do PHP artisan, DB monitor, DB seed, DB show, DB table, PHP artisan make cast, PHP make channel, all this PHP make listener, PHP refresh. So all these are functions for, so you can see it has been arranged inside to do with the database monitor, for environment, the environment, for event making events, for key generation, and for PHP make. So we want to make a PHP to make a controller, PHP make controller. So PHP artisan make controller name. Okay, so we want to make a post controller, so we'll just write PHP artisan make controller. Sorry, I had notes. Okay, PHP artisan make PHP artisan make controller, and then controller name as it is explained here, and then you make now a controller name. So we are going to make post controller, post controller. So you are going to make a post controller. That is how you do making a post controller, and that controller will be found at PHP, okay, inside the HTTP folder controller. And then if you have an extension supporter like this for Laravel, for code, it's going to be like that. So basically this is now the folder, the file for controller. You see, it is an empty controller. So a controller has, this is where you're going to create your controller functions inside that controller. So let's say we want to make a sample controller for index. So we are just going to do public function index. Okay, that is public function index. So here, this is where we now bring the artistry of CRUD, that is create, read, update, delete. Let's just write them here, CRUD. So we are going to do CRUD. So the CRUD, that means create, update, delete. So this is index, that is to bring all, and then public function create, public function create. As you can see, these are functions and they are just empty functions. So it needs to have a return value. You can either it can return a value, it can return an object. So that is where now you need also, as a person, you have to go and read the fundamentals of programming, the fundamentals of programming, whereby you do HTML, you do in HTML you do the types of how the code is written, and then also the fundamentals of programming. You know the string, you know all that, you know the string, you know the integer, you know all that. So you know objects, you know all those things, how they are returned, what their function is. So that is what you need to know as an individual. That one I cannot teach you, so that is a homework for you. So next we have done create, read. So basically is to read is to show. Either you can do the show, create public function. I'm creating just another function, public function show, and then public function delete, update. You can do public function update, public function update, just like that, and then public function destroy is to delete. Okay, public function destroy is to delete. To delete is to remove something from a database, or to delete something, basically to remove. So that is the functions of, that is where functions comes in. So basically that is just a simple, those are just simple functions. And then now I was talking about a function has to return a value, either it has to return something. So basically that function, to make it visible for a function to have a function, what am I saying? For a function to have a function, it has to return something. What I mean is, there's these two principles, okay? Get, request, getting, and you get and you request, and then when you request something, you have to produce something. When somebody requests for you something, you have to give them something. So what I mean is, the entire architecture of applications uses something that we call them we have some requests. When you click a button, it has to do a function of requesting something from one place, and then it's going to get what you see is what you get. So you request something, and then you are given something. Okay, that is how all the applications work. Unless you are also, even if you are submitting something, you still have to fill in something, and then you submit that something. So at the point whereby you are hitting a button, you are submitting something, because that function also is expecting something from you. So just have that that ideology in your vertebrae. Okay, so with that, let's try to now get where we are going. So I have a function called index, and I want to complement it with a view. So basically we are going to say PHP artisan. Let's first run this our application, PHP artisan serve. Okay, with PHP artisan serve, we have made a request so that our application can run on this URL. Okay, so we want to see that our index, and then one thing this is now a fundamental thing that maybe so many people are going to wonder what the magic happens is, you see anything that appears inside your browser page. This is my definition. If you want to pinga it, it's up to you. Anything that is on this page is called an index. It's an index. This index is dynamic. When I go to About Us page, it is still an index page. When I go to, if I got back to this Laracast, that laracast.com, that is an index. I've just shifted the gear from my index to another index. Okay, so to drive the point home, all these pages, this create is an index, this update is an index in a way, in one way or another, it's an index page. So I want to make it a primary. I want to shift it to be a primary index. So I need to give it a page. Okay, I want now when I call on this post controller, first we have something called the roots. Okay, roots, it's where we root. On the roots is where we define where these pages are going to pages are going to go. So you can see on this root page, on this root on the web. Okay, on the roots we have the web.php. So I'm just going to copy that, Control C, and then I'm going to do like that, and then I'm going to change from post, I'm going to change it to posts. Okay, and then here I'm going to give it another location of where I want my welcome my index page should be. Okay, hello guys, so we just wanted to create a folder called articles. So we are going to create a folder called articles. I'm just clarifying, we are going to create a folder called articles. Inside articles we are going to we are creating an article folder, and this is going to be an article folder. At the same time, this is going to be an article index. Okay, so to return this, you can still do this. So we are going to post controller. You can still do a return function, public function, public. Okay, no, not return view, and then it is going to be article dot index, and then ensure when you open a controller you close it like that. Basically you close it like that with a semicolon. So that is opening and closing, and then inside here you can still add other functions. Let's say you want these view articles to have posts. So basically these posts are from database. That's where we now database comes in, models comes in. So model will communicate at this point, slash, let's say we have a post model, we have model, we have post. We're going to create an array of posts is equals to from post controller, if we have something like that, but let me just say user, because we have a user controller, user model, and then we can say all. Okay, that is it is going to bring all posts, and then you can compact it. So basically this is true. You can compact and then post. Okay, just to explain this post, let's say this post is equals to let me put something here, 5. I don't know if it will work. That is, I'm testing it out, and then I'm going to my browser, localhost posts. Okay, it should. Okay, that is a request for post, but now it is not linked. It is not linked to a controller. So the way to link it to a controller, you have to come here, and then now we can put a controller function here. So just 1 minute. So we are going to create a post controller. We're going to create a post controller whereby it's a get function for all the posts. This one is getting a single file, and then what we are going to do, we are just going to get a post controller that calls a controller. So we are going to write root get. It's going to be a get function, and then this get function, inside the get function we are going to call articles. You can give it a name slash articles, and then inside that articles we are going to portray an array of post controller. So basically it's going to post controller, post controller, and then it's going to be a class, and then that class, it has to be named. Okay, named. You can do that. You can name it a post. So it's going to be index, like something like that, but at the same time you can just do that. You can do that. You can name it as index. Okay, index. So basically you name that class, and then it becomes like that, and then you close it. Okay, so you're going to have a post controller. So just to take a twist, it's going to link to that index. So when I go to my browser and search for Control-C, and then I type localhost/articles, you will see it's going to call on article post. So you can see we don't have a table, a database name users inside our database, because select 5 from users. So that is an error I introduced earlier on, but you are just going to clean it up. So inside our article post controller, just going to remove this one. So it's just to call all these. So basically you can also create your specific SQL queries on that. So let's go back, and then after cleaning it up, it's going to show us select all from unknown database introduction app. So with this, I'm being introduced into the database. So in the previous video I showed you how you can create your database. So just going to go to the terminal, that right, and then you're going to type php artisan artisan migrate. Okay, php artisan migrate. So it is going to ask us, do you have a connection? There is a connection string called introduction app. Do you want to create it? Just say yes, and then it's going to create that database, and then it's going to run that migration. So guys, we have run our migration in our database. We also have that table now, introduction app, and then when we go back to our browser, and then we write articles, you're going to see that it's going to bring that post, but at the same time there is now the aspect of those users inside. It's not, so basically it has to be nested, but it has taken back to this article users. So you can now change this point to we can create a loop for articles. Okay, a loop for users. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a table. Okay, something has been broken. Okay, we have head, and then we have body, HTML. Okay, index.blade.php. So you can write that one. Okay, basically you can do this just to see it's calling from the database, and then you do this slash posts. Okay, yes, it's going to give us something. Okay, reload. You see it's an array of information that is it is empty, because in the database localhost php myadmin introduction app, we have an empty information. Okay, the users, what it means, we have empty users. Okay, we have empty users. So if we create a new user, when we call it, we'll have a list of users. So guys, I think I've gone ahead of my time. We'll go back to introduce ourselves better with databases. Okay, with databases, but basically we wanted to know how we can connect back to the roots. These roots can carry either data or they can carry files. So guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel, be a part of our community, and have a blessed day. Let's meet on the next video as we build these skills on web development, coding, programming in Laravel. So guys, see you then.